Good evening, everyone. Well, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. It's the opposite of the Truman Show. Yeah, I started picking up gaming recently after hitting a brick wall and realizing I didn't do anything fun for myself. It's kind of what happens when you start a corporate job and all you do is work 9 to 5 and then sit on the couch like a couch potato for most of the evening. I mean, like I exercise and I train and stuff like that, but I needed to do something fun for myself, so I picked up MapleStory again, because I grew up playing it, actually. And, yeah, actually didn't really like the main game. Not because it's bad per se, it just wasn't really my speed. And I kind of missed playing MapleStory growing up, which is what I did, and here we are. You can tell from my first video I'm pretty bad at this. Which is funny, because I used to talk to the camera for a job. I was in media, and I was very comfortable with it, but I suppose after a long time you get rusty. But anyways, MapleStory Worlds came out here in North America, and I saw Artale get set up, and I figured now's a good time, if I'm getting back into gaming, to kind of hop in and relive the childhood that was playing MapleStory from the early 2000s, or the mid-2000s to the late 2000s. So here I am. So when I was growing up playing MapleStory, my main was a chief bandit, or a rogue, so there wasn't anything better to do, per se, than just boot it back up and go from there. So here we are, level 11, username LoudlyPlays, and my quest right now is to kill 50 stumps, and then also, because I'm here, collect 40 squishy liquids and 40 tree branches, which lines up pretty well. Why is there a room? What the hell? So the interesting thing about like playing MapleStory Worlds or Artale, down, left, up, left. Sweet. The interesting thing about playing Artale when my main experiences were with old school MapleStory is that I don't really remember the ruin piece. Like, I remember it a bit when I did get into modern MapleStory, the mainstream games, a couple years ago, just for a couple months, but other than that, the ruins piece always caught me off guard, and it is really new to me still, so. But hey, I mean, it's a nice little addition, and I figured it's a good add, and a good thing they take from the main games and add it into Artale. Yeah, so I played MapleStory from 2005, I think is when it got released in North America, or MapleStory Global is when it released. I'm in Canada, so I think it was late 2005 is when I joined, and I played in Barra. So if you're watching this and you played old school MapleStory and you played in Barra, chances are we crossed paths at some point. But yeah, I played from predominantly like 2005, late 2005, maybe early 2006 until 2011, I believe is when I slowed things down. It was around the time that Big Bang started and a lot of things changed, and I didn't leave the game because of Big Bang. I know that there's a big hate for Big Bang, or a lot of criticisms for it, at least what I see in comment sections, and it's not unfounded per se, but at that point in life, a lot of things were changing. You know, I was middle of the way through high school, and I was thinking about, you know, after high school, university, and things like that. So things got really busy as I kind of shifted from teenager to quote-unquote young adult, and this game, even though I really enjoyed it, just sort of fell by the wayside of all the other things happening in my life. So, oh, I'm gonna die soon. So this is the other weird thing about MapleStory, especially OG MapleStory, was like, the healing was not the best, as the speed was not the best either, like how fast things progress, but that was also the charm of the game, and I think the reason why everybody really wanted it to come back, right? And how everybody had been asking for a classic server for probably a decade. Honestly, probably since Big Bang actually kind of released. There was some criticism about the changes, and then inevitably a demand for a classic server. So, but the classic server had its fault. Not the classic server. The old school game had its faults in the sense that, like, it really was a grind. Like, you just kind of chipped away killing monsters for quite a while. And I think one of the things that the sort of outcome of that is, like, when you have a game that had a high volume of players from across the globe and it was really slow, the game itself sort of becomes a chat function. Oh no. I need to figure out that sticky tab thing. Yeah, the game kind of becomes in a way, a glorified messenger chat. I remember growing up and, like, my favorite thing to do was to, like, log in, maybe kill a couple monsters, and then spend the evening just sitting on a chair in some obscure spot on the map and talking to my friends, see who logged in and shoot the shit. And that was a cool thing too, because, like, I made a lot of friends from all around the globe, right? Some more friends here in Canada, some friends in the States, some friends in China and Norway. Yeah, you got to kind of know people from all over, and that was really cool. Hey, I leveled up, and an ore. Tonight's my night. Yay. Where's the skill tab? I put a lot into luck, and I think I regret doing that. Anyways. I mean, like, fair warning to everybody who's watching. Despite the fact that I did play the game when I was younger, I'm really fucking bad at this right now. So, don't hate if it's clear that I don't know what I'm doing and I'm doing a lot of things wrong, because I'm just fucking around right now. There we go. One quest complete. I just gotta collect the rest of the tree branches, and then we'll go from there. What more I got left? Oh! Whoops! We're obviously covered on that piece, so I will go back and finish this quest, and then I'll go get some squishy liquids. What a weird name. Fusion Jazz Bar. Whoops! Forgot the tree stump. Fast forwarded you around. Fast forwarded. Teleported you. Jeez. Okay, 80 stumps this time. So most of you probably remember this, but if you played post Big Bang or like in the mid 2010s onwards, then chances are your computers and your operating systems were a lot more efficient than they were back in the day. But one of the things that was always like a big cultural experience with the game, like with a lot of games, but with MapleStory for me, was that when there was an update, you pretty much had to like set your computer to update the game for an entire day, or at the very least several hours. So if there was a patch update, you would just set your computer to download the patch, and you would leave it for anywhere from like 4 to 8 hours sometimes, depending on the size of the patch, obviously. And then, yeah, once it's done, you'd be able to log in, which was always hilarious, to say the least. Ooh, lots of drops. Okay, one thing that I totally forgot about. I gotta do something about that shift key. I will say though, the weird thing about playing a video game after so many years is, like, you still have your muscle memory kick in every once in a while. Oh, I don't want to go down there. I will die in a heartbeat. I still click the Z button whenever I need to pick something up. And before anybody laughs at this, like I said, I am Canadian, so of course I'm saying Z, not Z. But I used to click the Z button to pick things up because that's how the game worked. And now in Artale, at least how they have set up, is that pickups are automatic, which is actually really nice. But I'm still used to pressing the Z button. So I currently have a skill set to... Sorry, not Z. Wow, that's hypocritical. I just talked about how I said Z and then I said Z. You know what? We interchange it all the time and we switch back and forth. So I'm just going to go with the wind and how I feel. But yeah, the Z button was a pretty regular thing to use when it came to picking stuff up. And now I don't have to use it, which is really weird. So I have a skill set to it, so at the very least, if I try to pick something up, I end up using a skill, which doesn't cause a lot of MP use. And on the bright side, it does something cool to the monster. I forget which skill it is, though. Okay. Disorder. Temporarily decreases the weapon defense and attacking abilities of the affected. Can't use the skill on a monster that is already in disorder. Well, me and the monster have something in common, I guess. Another one. I'll be transparent and say that like a big reason I'm playing this game is because of the nostalgia factor. It's also, like I said, because I kind of like woke up one day. Oh, I missed. Oh, thank God. Is fall damage still a thing in this game, or did they remove it? I have no idea. And I'm not going to find out. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. These monsters are knocking me left, right, and center. Oh, no, I'm good. Yeah, I think the nostalgia factor is a pretty big reason. Also because I don't have much going on. Like I said, I work a corporate job, so it's like I just go to the office and work, and then obviously in the evenings I lift. I compete in a sport as well, so most of my evenings are spent training. Is this MP? But then I was also thinking, I was like, outside of that, what else do? I just kind of like potato out on the couch, so I might as well do something fun. And I've been wanting to make content for a while, and I figured now's the time. So I don't expect anybody to watch this really, even though I'm talking to people, obscure made-up people. Honestly, the voices in my head, that's usually who I'm talking to. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of like explore something from my past, to explore interests of mine, and put it somewhere for people to see, even if it's just one person. So here we are. Oh, what the fuck? Bruh. Look at you. Evil ass mushroom. I really should get equipment though. Like, all I have is a t-shirt. And why do I have a mini skirt on? What? Okay, one of the things about Artale is that like the setup when it comes to getting your equipment is kind of like a free-for-all. So you end up with just like the most random things. But I do not have enough money. Oh, maybe I do. To get some equipment, some rogue equipment. Where am I on the map? Okay, how far until Crane City Middle Forest? I'm thinking though, it's probably, what is Deep Valley? Why is Deep Valley there? Oh, thank God. One thing about Artale is that it is a bit finicky, to say the least. I mean, it's like it's a community-made version of the game, so of course it's going to take a bit to get all the kinks and details sorted out. But I digress. This little bitch. Oh, he got my ass. Oh shit. You know what? Probably putting some of these on the keyboard would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Also, this is my keyboard setup. I don't know. If anybody has any suggestions, let me know. Red potion for beginners. How much EXP did I get from that? No! Let's go! They don't call me a thief for nothing. Little break. My friend just sent me a photo of his cat. Oh, the cat's about to swing at the tree. Christmas tree. That cat's a menace. So I know like every fan of a game would say this, but MapleStory always really did have the best background music. Like it says something if a game you played that you haven't touched in years still pops up on your YouTube suggestions in terms of background music, and like you listen to it all the time. I used to listen to MapleStory music as like, yes, study music when I was in university, because it was just it was upbeat, it wasn't too distracting, it was a little bit nostalgic in the sense of like, oh shit, oh, no, we're good. Ah! No sir. No sir. And I missed. Horrible at this game. I wonder how many more squishies I need. Squishies! Squishy liquid 22. I'd probably have a better time if I went straight to Alinea. Because I don't know how many Empyrean. Oh, there's another one. I missed! I missed again. And then he missed. Payback. 19, so 21 left. Okay, there's a few more here, so maybe I'll stick around. But I should go buy some rogue equipment. Maybe I'll just do that while we're gaming for a bit. So when I was playing, because I remember this, when I was playing OG MapleStory. Oh, cool! I got a wand. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I got a wand. Oh, I could sell it. Get your ass. When I was playing OG MapleStory, the place I spent the most amount of time in was LoudlyPlays. I still don't know how to pronounce that properly. LoudlyPlays. Because I mean, at that time, that was a really good space if you were like level 50 to 70s, I'd say. There were probably better spots, but that's just where I ended up all the time. So that's like, when I think about my time in old school MapleStory, like that is the place. LoudlyPlays. So I'm excited to get back there playing this game. And I dropped. They got my ass. Ow. Fuckers. Alright, I'm just gonna kill these two. I have this thing where if a monster does damage to me, I have to kill it because I'm like offended that it hurt me. Which is the weirdest thing to get hung up on. Chop your ass. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm excited to get to Lodibrium when the time comes. Victoria Island, Awkward Road. Awkward Road is very nostalgic because when I was bored back in the day, I would just kind of like make my way down to Awkward Road just to like explore, just to walk around, just to float around. Syria. I remember the dead mines were always the creepiest thing. Like, you'd try to work your way to Zakum's altar, even though you were severely underleveled. So, yeah. Like, it was a big deal reaching level, because I believe I reached level 70 before Big Bang happened, so it was like it was a grind to get there. And then I did the 3rd job advancement to become a chief bandit, and then not long after that is when things kind of slowed down. This makes me very sad. I don't know why. It's just, I have this thing about like the beginnings and ends of things that always makes me like very emotional. And like knowing that Maple Island is just a tiny little island is where everybody started their adventures back in the day was always so, yeah, not sad, but like a nostalgic kind of happy sad in a way. I don't know. So when I was playing the main MapleStory for those few months, I kind of popped into to play around. This is where I spent a decent amount of time because the scale leveling is huge. So like you just pass level 100 relatively quick, and then you end up at the Temple of Time. So I'm curious to see how all this plays out right now. Oolong Garden, Niel Desert. Yeah. Fun stuff. Okay. You fucker. Oh my god. Alright, well, I'm going to go get some new armor or clothes for my boy. Ah! Ah! We're good. And then I'm going to call it a day. Here we are in Kerning. Fun fact about this map. So I actually made a friend here because I was exiting from the top right. So I was in Kerning City for some reason. This was, by the way, like OG MapleStory back in, this probably would have been like 2009, maybe 2008. But I was walking from the top right of the map down to the bottom on my way back to maybe Lith Harbor. And I don't know if you can see my mouse, but I walked through here and I was walking through the forest we were just in, and then I realized that someone had sent a message here and I completely missed them. They had, like, you know, sent a chat out into the ether, and it was directed at me because we were the only two in the map, and I completely ignored it and kept walking. I didn't even realize that he had done it. But then when I realized it was about me, I was like, oh, I feel bad, let me go back. So I walked back here and ran into him and said, like, hey, was that message about me? And he was like, yeah. And I can't remember what it was about. I think he was looking for some kind of advice on either completing a quest or what to do next, because he was new to the game, and I helped him out, and then we ended up staying as friends, and he actually joined my guild that I was a part of back in the main MapleStory game. So I don't know if anybody watching remembers a guild in Barra called Guardian, Guardian, but that was the guild that I was a part of. My friend started it, and then when he decided to quit the game, he handed it off to me. But at that point, it was like the game was kind of coming to an end at that point. You know, Big Bang had settled in. The timing was really weird. Once again, like, I think people were slightly upset about Big Bang, but I think really like the user base or the player base at that time was just done. You know, so yeah, like, he handed me off the guild and I took it over for a bit, and then life just kind of happened and we all just drifted. So, such is life. Now I need to figure out how the hell to buy things. Required level 12, required luck 25. Field dagger, required dex. So I am supposed to be leveling up my luck. I knew it! Sell the wand. Oh, I'm supposed to double click, that's why. Now here's the thing, what's my stuff at? So, okay, I could do the next thing. So I'll do the Zamadar. And let's get some clothes. A beanie. All the way down to level 30. Black cloth vest. And for the love of God, let's get out of this skirt. Black cloth pants. And some shoes. Some little slippers. Some slippy slips. Gomushins. That's the right one, right? Let's not get the smelly Gomushin. I hope I pronounced that right. Oh yeah, okay, equipped it yet. So, interesting thing, let me just, some background. So the reason I have this haircut, because in Artale you can kind of customize your character before you start playing, like you just make the account and set it up. The reason I have this set up is because this is very similar to what my OG MapleStory main used to be. I'll see if I can grab a photo of him later. It all depends if they still have the rankings, because the rankings are still up. So I should be able to find... Well, I mean, I don't know if the rankings are still up. They were up the last time I checked, like 2 years ago, so my character was still up there. Oh, no! But unfortunately, I'm not able to access the character because while I was on hiatus for those, like, 12 years... something was wrong with my account, or something came up with my account, and they just decided to permanently ban my my account and lock my access entirely. I tried for like years to really get access to it, but they were very adamant that that was not a thing. Oh, 1 second. I really hope the fan I had in the background wasn't that loud, because it's going to ruin this entire audio. We'll find out. We will find out. Anyways, I am going to wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and I will see you in the next one.